Hello and welcome back. This is Chan, the Tech Man, and this is Syberia 3. Thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it. Get into the comment section. Be nice. My website is chansmith.me. Go there. Appreciate it. If you want to donate, go there. The link to my website is also in the description of this video. It's chansmith.me, and share my stuff on your social networking. Let's get into it. Isn't that pretty though? Pretty music. Okay. Let's see. We got off the elevator. I really don't like this mechanic. How do I get up? Talk to that lady. That way.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Pretty gloomy clinic. It could do with a bit of human warmth.
It used to be the fortress of the Dukes of Valsambor, the ancient rampart standing against invasions from the east. The inhabitants of Valsambor took refuge here and often escaped the besiegers through mysterious secret passages.
When did it become a clinic?
That was 20 years ago, thanks to Dr. Zamiatine.
I'm looking for Dr. Zamiatine.
He's in his office. You'll find it in the small corridor back there, the first door on your left.
Okay.
I would like to leave this clinic. Would you mind telling me where the exit is, please?
Well, usually I'd have told you to go over to the other side of the courtyard to take the funicular that goes down to Valsambor. But it seems Dr. Efimova has shut off the entire clinic for security reasons. The funicular has been stopped until further orders.
I see. Thank you for all that information. I'll be going now.
Maybe you should head on back to your room and wait until they say the funicular is fixed and back in service.
I'll think about it. Goodbye.
Okay. What the heck are you doing?
Ah, hello, Miss Walker. How very delightful to see you up and about. Even if I really have to admit that I'm a bit surprised. Our dear Dr. Olga painted a far darker picture of your current state of health.
Perhaps you should go upstairs more often to check on the condition of your patients, Doctor. You would see for yourself what Olga and Dr. Mangling are putting them through.
Good Lord, what do you mean?
You need to understand that Olga isn't the virtuous doctor that you seem to think. That woman spends all her time looking for unbelievable problems in her patients and makes diagnoses that she justifies through bizarre tests with systematically skewed results. And that's not to mention the treatment she's putting poor Kirk through.
Listen to me, Miss Walker. I know that waking up after a prolonged period in a coma is difficult. In such a context, anxiety attacks are very normal. But please, do not project it onto Dr. Olga. I'm not getting any younger, you know, and running this clinic is a very heavy burden. The last few years, Olga has shown she is capable of assisting me. I have every faith in her.
But
The subject is closed, Miss Walker. Please tell me about that pendant you have around your neck. I must admit I noticed it as soon as you walked in. Miss Walker.
it belonged to Oscar, a friend who passed away.
I understand, Miss Walker. I myself have borne the weight of grief for decades now. Wearing a token from someone dear to you is a natural thing.
Dr. Zamiatine, I promised Kirk I'd go to the craftsman in Valsambor and bring back his mechanical prosthesis. The poor boy has been waiting for it for ages, so I'd like to try to speed up the process. Would you tell me how to get there?
Now there's a truly noble initiative, Miss Walker. I asked my clockmaker friend Simon Steiner to manufacture the young Yukol's mechanical prosthetic leg. He's a capable craftsman and ingenious. You'll find him in his workshop, near the Valsambor port. I imagine he must almost be finished with his work by now. He makes amazing things. You'll see.
Can you authorize my release so that I can see Dr. Steiner? Unfortunately, I've been told that the clinic is in lockdown.
You will have to ask Dr. Olga, Miss Walker. She signed the current order to lock our establishment down. She's in charge of giving out the passes. This book should answer any of the questions you may have about our Yukol's friends. Farewell and bon voyage, Miss Walker.
Why did the Yukols ask you to heal Kirk?
On each of their migrations, the Yukol shamans and I have exchanged medical knowledge. Their trance therapy and materia medica have provided astounding results for my patients affected by psychological afflictions. In exchange, I do what I can to take care of those injured that they can't heal using their traditional medicine. Like, that poor boy who lost his leg.
How many ostrich migrations have you seen?
This is the third one. I'm lucky to have seen so many of them. It's a rare spectacle. Believe me, the great herd of ostriches accompanied by the Yukols, doomed to blindly follow their animals wherever they happen to roam. And they don't care about countries, wars, and borders.
You seem to like the Yukols, Dr. Zamiatine.
They are a fascinating people, you know, and such astonishing medicine infused with shamanism. Without which, no doubt you would have never arrived in this clinic alive, Miss Walker.
I get the impression that the Yukols aren't much liked around here.
Indeed. It would seem that most of the inhabitants of Valsambor are now quite hostile towards them. This wasn't the case a while back, you know. When I was young, the migration of the snow ostriches was an event widely welcomed with open arms in Valsambor.
Why the change in attitude?
Our region was actually somewhat devastated 20 years ago. Dramatic events changed the way people viewed the world. The people turned inward on themselves. They are less welcoming. And the fact that the Yukols have been stuck here, next to Lake Valsambor for several weeks, hasn't helped.
It's really necessary for me to ask Olga's permission to leave? You're the director of this clinic, after all.
Olga is my right-hand woman. I can't keep her uninvolved in current matters, Miss Walker. She is also currently your doctor. You should really talk with her about it. She isn't as evil as you seem to believe. You'll find her in her office, most probably.
Okay, get to speak. Where? I don't know how to open preserved. Okay, mammoth butchered. Tell me I gotta do this. I ain't gonna do all of it. See how much is this? It'd be easier if I didn't have to do UCalls, a name that is systematically makes my usually torpid students giggle. Never before had they caught wind of the existence of this fascinating people, a strong people, fiercely independent and kind. So why does the gentle fragrance of mystery float around this 1,000-year-old culture? How how to pierce the veil? The work you hold in your hands is the ultimate preface of the subject. I can attest without hesitation that reading it led perfectly to my study, which lasted years, of this culture. As part of the same research, the author and I conducted pathologically or pathology, yet which greater compliment Yet, while greater compliment for an academic work than to have incited in the colleagues the desire to explore a new field of research and to have transmitted this new and long-lasting passion to successive generations of students. Professor of Pathology at the University of the members of the UCall tribe, illustrated, produced, accounted, precisely dating the emergence of the UCall tribe is an arduous, if not impossible, task. Numerous traces and ruins scattered between the northern Urals and the French Alps nonetheless attested to the existence that goes back at least as far as the dawn of history. To this unusual longevity can be added another remarkable fact: the characters of Uruguay's customs and traditions unchanged after millennia. I'll make sure this is recording still. It'd be bad if it wasn't. Every game you got to do all this reading. Correlation of two factors is behind our general ignorance of this tribe. The first is the Yukal's nomadic way of life, or more specifically, semi-nomadic, but we shall return to this point later. Itself the reason for the second factor. The routes taken by the tribes are mainly located in unknown and mostly wild territory, still very much out at the outskirts of the great in terms of size and dominant civilization that have left their mark on Eurasian history. These two factors have thus enabled the Yukols to elude all attempts at ethnic and religious purification, remaining outside the main conflicts that have shaken the content. So many parameters that have made the preservation of their culture possible. Nonetheless, as we shall return to this point later, the Yukols are not known to all. Their migrations bring them into regular contact with the indigenous people, but if the latter tolerate their passage, they have never socially accepted interbreeding with the tribe. thus preventing any form of cultural dilution. Okay, another relationship with nature. There is an undeniable, almost organic connection between the Yukol tribe and nature. Their rare traces accepted as being of their civilization attest to the cave-dwelling tradition backed by a strong ability to adapt. The tribe inhabited natural grottos during the wandering in western lands, while the Arctic regions they occupied ice caverns that they carved out by hand. The Yukols also lived in symbiosis with a variety of animal species, while it is the owls they have tamed and trained to act as messengers, or the little known Yuki used as trackers, sheepdogs, and sled dogs. The tribe has become experts at domestication. Yukol survival is directly correlated to that of certain animal species. There is considerable evidence the tribe having been in close proximity to mammoths in prehistoric times, with the animals serving as beasts of burden, a means of transport and source of meat and wool. Their gigantic bones were also able to used as a building material or to make furniture. Make sure I've read all of these. Yep. Uh, the Yukols believe that the mammoths are not, in fact, extinct, but indeed still exist on a large island to the north reaches of the continent. If these lines should prefer not to indulge in the formulation of an opinion in direct contradiction to scientific consensus, he is nonetheless forced to admit that he has seen with his own eyes example of Yukol's craftsmanship made from the bones of pachyderms in an outstanding state of preservation. The fact remains that the Yukols have shifted their dependence from the mammoths to the great snow ostriches, a population of migrating Arctic birds known for their stubborn and nervous nature. These ostriches have a particularity of setting out every 20 years or so on a great migration covering a vast territory. The purpose of the migration is to bring the herd to the lands where they reproduce, lush steppes located in the heart of what is now Yucatan. Okay. Yes, does that mean you're done almost? One of the most fascinating characteristics of the Yukol culture resides in its ability to absorb the material imperative, the need for part of the tribe to follow the herd of snow ostriches to ensure the survival of the entire group, and transform into a spiritual event, a platform for belief. Indeed, those of the tribe who accompany the great ostriches experience the migration as a spiritual voyage, an intimate transcendence whose purpose is to draw the favor of the spirits upon the individual and this family. The route of the migration is thus scattered with sacred stages, rites, and spiritual codes that the caravan's shamans ensure and are scrupulously respected. They are both soothsayers. They interpret the signals left by the spirits and advisors to the leaders of the migration. The spiritual guide seems as superior as some and somehow chosen by the spirit to guide the caravan to the legendary sacred lands where the ostrich will reproduce. Okay. That'll be enough for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. I'm Chan the Tech Man. My website is chansmith.me. It's also in the description of this video. And if you want to donate, go there too. Share my stuff on your social networking. Until next time.